In Parshas Emor, the Torah tells us that if three types of animals, a shor, a kesev, or an ez, a shor being an ox, a kesev being a sheep, and an ez being a goat, are born, there are 7 days that that animal, immediately after being born, cannot be brought as a korban. The animal must remain with its mother for those 7 days. Afterwards, the animal can be brought as a korban. The Kli Yakar explains that it's interesting to note that when an ox or a sheep or a goat is born, they're called an ox, sheep, or goat. If you ask a farmer, well, what did your ox have? Well, my ox had an ox, or my sheep had a sheep, or my goat had a goat. When we as human beings procreate, when a woman gives birth and someone says to the woman or says to her husband, well, what did you have? They answer either a baby girl or a baby boy. But that baby girl and baby boy are not called a baby girl and baby boy when they advance to the age of their bar or bas mitzvah. Then they're already called a young man or a young lady or a boy or a girl as they go through their different stages of life. And finally, when they grow up to the point where they're called a man and a woman. The difference, says the Kli Yakar, between us and as human beings and an animal is that an animal may grow on a physical level from the time of their birth to eventually throughout their lives, but on an emotional level, on a spiritual level, there is no growth for an animal. Whereas when it comes to human beings, we are growing on an emotional level, on a spiritual level, every single day of our lives. We're learning from the past experiences and being able to push ourselves forward to the future. We are now in a period of time which we call Sfiras HaOmer. Sfiras HaOmer is the 7 weeks in between Pesach and Shavuos, in which Chazal tell us we are to prepare ourselves for the acceptance of the Torah. And just like man grows as opposed to an animal and develops over time, and that growth is in a number of areas, so too our growth needs to be in our character, in our traits, in what we do to make ourselves a better person and also to make ourselves better Jews. As we develop over this period of time of 7 weeks, the Balei Chasidus have an entire liturgy that they say when they count the Sfiras HaOmer, working on a different trait every single day. And we believe that our connection to God and to Torah needs to be worked on and developed over this period of time. We need to think to ourselves, what is our lifeline in this difficult and many of times most challenging world where we can't find the time for ourselves, we can't find time for our families, we can't find time for community, but we have to make the time. And those three are very important, they're of utmost importance, but there is a fourth that we have to remember. And that is we have to make time to learn Torah. We have to build that connection over this time of Sfira to realize that the Torah is our lifeline for having a sense of order and direction in our lives that at times can be all over the place. As we search for that moment to really keep ourselves afloat, the Torah is what we grasp onto. The Torah is what keeps us alive, and how we connect to it is of utmost importance. If we don't have Torah in our life, then we really may be drowning without even realizing it. As we prepare for the Yom Tov of Shavuos, let us think to ourselves how we have developed over the last year in our growth in Talmud Torah and the learning of Torah, in our commitment to Torah, in our commitment to Torah institutions, and how we are going to make sure that when we accept the Torah on Shavuos anew this year, we reinvigorate that commitment to Torah learning every single day and Torah growth in our community. Thank you for listening and have a good Shabbos.